Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we've got a Doxa. Now this is the sub 300 Caribbean. Now it's one of those watches, I understand there's a massive fan base for these watches, but I'm a bit 50-50 about them. I always wanted one. I used to do all the Clive Cussler books where Dirk Pitt would always have the Doxa on his wrist. Jacques Cousteau used to have a Doxa, so they've got massive amount of history, but it's just one of those watches. I don't know. I'm kind of, I'll do the straightforward review, and then at the end I'll talk maybe some what I consider might be my own personal opinion negatives, but not to say it's not a great watch. So anyway, before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a big thank you to Ryan and the team over at Francis Gaye of Coventry. Massive selection of watches, you name it, they've got it pretty well. Well worth popping into the shop to check out what they've got. If you're further afield, check out our website, which I'll leave a link in the description below. So anyway, here we are. Sizes wise, now we're talking a case size. Well, this is actually 42 across here. Obviously it's much bigger here, but that's what you read. So it's 42 millimeters here. It's 13.7 I find, which I measured from air to air. The lug size, they say 45, but if you classify the end links which stick out a bit further, it's 47. Now the bracelet size, the lug size, I should point out, is 20, but the actual bracelet, because they blend it nicely into the contours of the case, is 22.5, but it does taper down. So they've done a nice job there of blending that in. Now let's check out that dial. Now dial wise, we have a all printed dial. There is lume on this watch, but because it is small, you don't get a lot of lume, which is a little bit of a shame. I love the big orange hand on here. It does look good. You do have the date at 3 o'clock. Now here, I kind of like the way they always offset their name and model here, but because it is a small dial, I think maybe it would have been better to get rid of the automatic, but we just, that's just me being picky there. So that's one of those things. Let's have a look. As we come out from this, we have this most incredible sapphire crystal. I really do like this crystal. I love the way it stands so proud of the actual case. I think it just looks tremendous how they've done it. And also, when you see in certain areas, you get all that distortion going on. I think it is really, really, kind of such a cool look, that thing. Now, the actual bezel is an aluminium insert. Let's check the sound. It's nice. It's very snappy, I would say. Is there any back play? No. To be fair, that is very impressive. Zero back play on that. So that is good. Does it line up? Of course it does. Yep, no problem there. Now, as we come round, you can get a decent amount of purchase on the bezel because you've got this nice raised section there. Now, as we come round here, the case, they've got this lovely kind of pebble case going on there. It is lovely and smooth. There's no doubt in it. It's all brushwork up here and then polished on the edges. And they've just took the edge off just oh so slightly. They've done a really nice job. Now, the crown itself does have a logo. It is a screw down crown because as the name would, I've lost it now. As the name would suggest, it is a 300-meter diver with a screw-down crown. So there you go, hacking movement, and that's it. Screw back in. Goes in first time, so that's nice. Now we come round the back. We do have a solid case back, which is unfortunate because it would have been nice to see the movement. That's just me, though. The movement in this is the... they don't state it, but I found out it's a ETA 2824. So a really well-respected movement, and this is the chronometer spec version. So that's always been one of my, kind of complaints with Doxa is their accuracy isn't always the best. This one's spot on. This is about 3.5 seconds a day. So no problem there at all. You're talking around about minimal of 38 hours power reserve, maybe a little bit more. So we come round the bracelet. They do have their own thing going on here with the beads of rice and all that. It's nice. It's very articulate. Yeah, it moves quite freely. It has got screwed links there. The clasp is a fold over keeper there. And if I bring it out, we have a dive link extension. Obviously, it's got all the safety protection on this. I haven't took it off because it's not my watch. You do have 4 levels of micro adjustment. And there you go. So let me put it on my wrist. You've got an idea how it looks. My wrist, zoom out. All quick wrist check. I'm wearing the Zin EZM13, which is actually the same price as this when it's on its bracelet. These are both, I think it's £2,450. Bob, what you got there, mate? Acro Racer. He's got the new 1000 Super Diver from Tag. It's a bit of a beast. So anyway, my wrist size is 7¼ inches. Now, obviously, this isn't sized, but you look how much extra bracelet you get there. You get a heck of a lot. Now, one thing I would say is the case allows it to sit so snugly down on your wrist. You can't complain about it at all. It really does sit quite well. So anyway, that's it on my wrist. Now, a couple of little niggles I've got with the watch. Now, if I take it off, first things first, the clasp does feel a little bit, doesn't feel great, I would say. And the dive link extension, as I did say, is a little bit low rent on this price of watch, I think personally, but I am being really picky. The only other thing I would say is it's got its iconic look, but the dial is possibly one of the smallest dials there is. Where is it? I've got my friend Ben. He's lent me his Aquatron classic old watch. I think this is like 33mm, 34. This has a bigger dial than the Doxa. So it's a 42mm watch with a tiny dial. So yeah, it is. I understand I'm being picky, but yeah, it is what it is. These watches sell so well. There is such a Doxa fan base out there. So yeah, what I say doesn't really matter. It's still a very cool watch, and I do appreciate this one has got the chronometer spec movement in there. So anyway, okay then, all the best, and let me know if you agree with me in the comments. Okay then, all the best. Stay safe out there, guys. Bye.